Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this 15th day of November 2017. We are now 20 seconds into this program, and we haven't made a mistake yet. It's a new record for us, Steve.
No small feat there.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good.
It's
feeling a little cloudy today.
Are you? You're just
cloudy-headed right now.
just because we all have days like that.
Look behind me. That will tell you right now.
It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful valley. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. For one thing, payday. Woohoo!
Ooh, champagne payday.
Yeah, $37.19. I don't know what I'm going to do with all that money.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Oh, I got to tell you. It's the middle of the work week. It's the middle of the month. This doesn't happen too often. It's right smack dab in the middle of the week, and it's right smack dab in the middle of the month, November 15th.
Whoa, wow.
I'm quoting Ray Charles all of a sudden. Great show for you today. Second half of this program, Darcy Christopherson, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, and the reigning queen, Her Royal Highness Amy Sand, will be here to visit with us in the second half of the program. We've got a lot of things to talk about. The royalty selection process for you high school seniors out there in North Central Washington begins in earnest in just a couple of weeks. So you got to start getting it together, making up your mind if you want to do this or not.
We're talking apple blossoms, and the first snow is just falling, too.
Yeah,
so,
go figure. No snow here in the valley floor, but the mountain passes, they got a winter weather advisory. We'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. Sports, all the local all-star teams have been announced. We'll talk about high school best ofs for the Columbia Basin Big Nine, the Caribou Trail League, and so much more when we get to sports. Also, we have Today in History, the obscure holiday, birthdays, and everyone is entitled to Mike Mignotti's opinion. How was the rest of your Tuesday? You have a good Tuesday?
Yeah, fairly quiet.
Good.
Quiet day.
I like that.
Yeah.
I had a good Tuesday.
Good.
For the most part.
Good.
I'm now completely caught up. You know, I was gone all last week.
That's right.
Monday was email, phone call, got through all of that stuff. And then yesterday was the last of the catch-up. So now I'm back in the saddle. I feel good.
Good deal.
Good deal.
Didn't get called into jury duty.
Did not get called into jury duty. I got the federal jury duty summons.
You are commanded
yes.
to appear.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I didn't have to, thank goodness, although I had to fill out the whole big form. They send these jury things well in advance so you don't forget. And it was a 2-week call-in period, and the first call-in period was a couple of weeks ago, and I called up on that Friday and said, you don't have to show up. Call back on.
Have you ever served on a jury?
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myself. Yeah, I did too.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I can remember it very vividly too, because we didn't come up with our verdict until Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was a hit and run case. I remember this is.
Was that here in the big city?
No. This was
down in California.
Down in California.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny. We talked about this yesterday about the abysmal abysmal general election turnout from a couple of weeks ago. The only 2 times in your adult life where your opinion counts, the government says your opinion not only counts, it's the only thing that counts, is voting and jury duty. And that's it.
Okay.
And yet people don't vote and people try and get out of jury duty. It just...
Well, I file my taxes, but I always share an opinion, you know.
They should put that in the tax form. You ever thought about that?
I thought that'd be nice, a nice little addition, yeah.
That's the thing at the bottom. How would you like to have your tax dollars spent? See how that works out for you. Enough of this nonsense. Let's take you around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras on this Wednesday morning. Not a bad day. Again, that's the cross camera fading away and now coming back again. Pulled way back there, Steve. Look at that.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. What a beautiful little valley we live in, huh?
Here's a little heads up. I believe Whistler opens today. A couple of other ski resorts, some in the
Crystal
Cascades.
Mountain, I think, is opening
Crystal Mountain is opening today. What's the word on Mission Ridge? Are we going to follow up on that maybe sometime this week?
Probably so. They're still targeting that Thanksgiving holiday weekend, and depending on evening low temperatures, that dictates how they can start making their own snow. So.
3,000 feet and up is the snow level. Here in the valley floor, no snow at all in the forecast. But again, if you're driving in the mountain passes, you're going to get some snow. We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. Camera 2, where are we going? That is rain. Monitor Steins, what are we looking at, Caitlin? That's Steins.
Steins Hill.
That's beautiful Steins Hill. That's pointing to the east, so Cashmere is directly in front of your screen, and you can see the ribbon of highway that dumps into the Wenatchee Valley proper. Good morning, Cashmere. Good to have you on board.
It's a little sunshine hitting the hills in the distance there.
Yeah, camera 3. I love these views. That is Cougar pulled all the way back? Yep, that's Cougar Ridge, named after, of course, John Cougar Ridge.
John Cougar Ridge, yeah.
Jack and Diane
good songwriter.
So good, R-O-C-K in the USA. The Otobashian Bridge. Steve, you want to give us a quick traffic update on the Otobashian Bridge?
Looks fairly light volume right now. No problems crossing in either direction.
Steve Hare, traffic reporter for Channel 12.
NCW Life Air.
We need a chopper, Chopper 12. I'd love that. Finally, camera number 4. And that's up in Waterville. That's obviously the Waterville Plateau.
Still a little snow up there. Huh?
Still a little snow up there. And again, with snow level at about 3,000, 3,200 feet, Waterville Plateau is going to get a little bit of snow probably the next couple of days.
Little factoid about Waterville, the highest elevation town in Washington State.
Oh, I did not know that.
You did not know that?
I did not know that. Thank you, Steve. You're just a font of information.
Wow, got to keep up with you, Dan.
You're a font of something. Anyway, Steve handles the news, and he does it very, very well. And we got quite a bit of news to get to here. We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. Let's do your past report. No, let's do your weather forecast. Let's do your weather forecast. This is what it looks like here. Another in a series of wet Pacific systems moving into the region through Wednesday night. Steve, they're not blasting through like they did a couple of days ago. There's kind of meandering
Kind of a
through.
gentle little rain.
Gentle little rain, little scattered showers. Here and there, just spittles of rain, about 50-50 off and on today. A little bit of light rain tonight, nothing big. Partly sunny Thursday. Friday, lots of sunshine, good day Friday. And then little spittles of rain on Saturday night and Sunday. Nothing really dramatic. Actually, if you go back and look in history, this is pretty typical November weather.
It is. And it's kind of a popular time, too, for the outdoor burners, you know, because I noticed on Facebook this morning that the Manson Volunteer Fire Department was mentioning that outdoor burning is allowed, but just make sure they're small piles and workable. But it's damp enough out there that you can do that.
Yeah, and with this light rain and the cool overnight temperatures, I think we'll be just fine. Now, the passes are another story altogether. There's a winter weather advisory been issued for the Cascade passes, and that goes until noon today. There's I-90. Look at that. Ooh. Traction tires advised right now on I-90. I think I got it. Yes, traction tires are advised. Snow and slush on the roadway. It is snowing on Snoqualmie Pass, and it's going to snow off and on throughout the course of the day today. Stevens also has an advisory. As you might imagine, they're getting snow and slush on the roadway there.
Compact snow and ice.
And traction tires advised, Steve. And a Blue Pass, no advisories, no restrictions. They don't have any precipitation coming down right now, so Blue is the easiest of the three. Your forecast for the mountain passes today, Steve, 1 to 3 inches today. This is of snow, of course. 1 to 2 inches tonight. 1 to 3 inches Thursday, 2 to 4 inches Thursday night, 1 to 3 inches Friday, 1 to 3 inches Friday night, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No big dumping of snow like they're going to get 12 inches of snow in a 12-hour period. That's not going to happen, but it's going to be consistent enough that you're going to have winter driving conditions really all the way through Friday night before things calm down. No real snow at all in the forecast for the weekend for the Cascades.
That's what we'd like to see throughout the winter, just a gradual, you know.
Because when you have that big, massive dumpage of snow, it has a tendency to slide.
That's it.
And that's when we have issues. So there you go. That is your weather forecast from the National Weather Service and your past report from the Washington State Department of Transportation. That way, if you don't like the weather and you don't like the passes, you can blame the government.
That's always a popular thing.
It's 8 minutes after the hour on this 15th day of November 2017. You're watching Wake Up in Anchi Valley. My friend to my left, Steve Hare, will have all your Wednesday morning news in 1 minute. Wake Up in Anchi Valley live from Studio 7 on the NCW Life channel.
I've been watching Price is Right since I was a little kid.
Price is Right, and I'm like freaking out. It's crazy. We're gonna win big!
Now, here it comes. On stage and in person, The Price is Right. Live. All the games, prizes, and excitement. And now, more winners than ever before. You could even win from your seat. Don't miss your chance to come on down at The Price is Right live stage show.
November 30th, Town Toyota Center. Reserve seats on sale now at towntoyotacenter.com.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Telecommunications. Pybus Public Market is hosting their annual Holiday Artisan Fair in the main concourse in the Pybus Event Center Saturday, November 18. It will feature over 40 local and regional vendors including crafts, holiday gifts, decor, jewelry, art, and more. This free event is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
And here's what's happening around North Central Washington for this November 15th, a Wednesday. First of all, good news for the apple industry here in Washington State, along with the potential for improved access to Indonesian markets and a bumper apple crop this year. The industry sees a larger profit in 2017 than it has in the past 5 years. Good for grower returns. A ruling last week by the World Trade Organization upheld a decision that Indonesia's import tariffs are inconsistent with the organization's rules, which will allow more apples into Indonesia, Washington State's largest Southeast Asian market. Mark Powers with the Washington State Hort Association says the WTO ruling has been a long time coming.
Basically, USTR prevailed, and the WTO denied Indonesia its appeal of this trade case, legal case. And at this point, Indonesia is supposed to come into, compliance with the ruling, and hopefully it will do so soon and remove the barriers to trade that have been keeping our product down, roughly cutting the exports to Indonesia by almost half. This one's been a long time coming, and hopefully it'll come through, and we'll see another 1 million or 2 million boxes of fruit go into that market. That's what we do. We sell U.S.-made fruit overseas.
Also, an increase in Asian imports coincides perfectly with an increase in apple supply, which is up 8% over last year's production. In 2017, the apple crop projected to be the third largest in history, with up to 143 million bushels on hand and 194 million apples in storage. Link Transit considering a vote next spring on a proposed sales tax increase to pay for expanded bus service in Chelan and Douglas counties. Link's governing board approved a plan to put a measure on the February ballot asking for a 0.2% increase. Board members and Chelan County Commissioners Kevin Overbay and Doug England commented on the proposal with NCW Life News.
Overall, I think moving forward, it's Link did the survey of the ridership and even folks that and actually those that don't even ride, and they came up with a plan. Myself, I'm kind of looking more of a conservative standpoint how we move forward with that. But what was prepared yesterday, I'm in support of moving forward and providing these services to folks. But the particulars about yesterday's motion that was made, I had just a couple of issues with that. But I think that in the future, we can kind of work through that and pretty much get behind it.
Commissioner England?
Link is a very valuable asset to both the Wenatchee Valley and Douglas County and the upper ends of Chelan County. It has provided a way for people to get to and from work. It's provided a way for people who could not in any other way by themselves access the entire county services, and that's been very, very valuable. It was just a question of how to proceed from here. I think we both felt that it was an issue that by increasing the service would help increase ridership. We just want to make sure that ridership does increase as we expect, and to do it in a way that is prudent. And so when some of those fine details are fleshed out, I think it'll be something we go forward with and make a link even more effective for the valley.
Now, if it's approved by the election, the increase would be the first since Link was first established back in 1990. The board is slated to make its final decision on a possible February 13th special election at its November 21st meeting. Also, the U.S. Department of Energy has announced that a partially collapsed tunnel containing radioactive waste has now been stabilized at Hanford Nuclear Reservation. Officials report over 4,400 cubic yards of grout was used to fill the tunnel to prevent any future collapse. Now, 3,000 Hanford workers were forced to shelter in place when that tunnel caved in earlier this year. There were no injuries reported. The nuclear reservation was established, of course, as part of the Manhattan Project during World War II to develop nuclear weapons. Also, Wenatchee police, well, they lost again in their annual gridiron match against the Chelan County Sheriff's deputies. But the biggest winner was Jerry's Harvest, the nonprofit charity that helps families dealing with cancer. Detective Kevin Battis with the police department said the final score of Sunday's football game at the Wenatchee Apple Bowl, 36-6.
The fifth year that we've done this now. We do it, in the past we've done it for Special Olympics. We have also done it for Jerry's Harvest in the past. And this year we did it solely for Jerry's Harvest. We're hoping to have about $1,000 raised when it's all said and done. And for those that don't know, Jerry's Harvest, they provide meals on Thanksgiving for families who are dealing with family members who are going through cancer treatment or on hospice home care.
Detective Battis dismissed the lopsided final score. He claims the police department let the deputies win. He said next year will be a different story. Wenatchee police, by the way, report a scam making the rounds. It sounds like a call from Microsoft Technical Services telling you that your computer and IP address are infected with ransomware and pornography. Ooh, scammer says if you don't act by calling their 800 number, your internet connection would be permanently disabled. The scammers are trying to gain access to your Windows configuration files where they can wreak havoc by having you install malicious software on your own computer. Don't fall for it, folks. Instead, install antivirus software approved by your internet service provider and keep it updated. So, another scam making the rounds. In fact, today is National Scam Awareness Day. The Chelan County PUD has unveiled a new video public service announcement explaining the many ways that scammers try to separate you from your wallet.
Each year, millions of consumers become victims of fraud and identity theft. Scammers use sophisticated techniques to trick consumers into providing sensitive information, often by impersonating a company official. This is called an imposter scam. An imposter scam usually comes in one of three forms: by phone, email, or third-party payments, with phone scams accounting for over 75% of all imposter scams. The structure is the same for most scams. A customer receives communication from an individual who falsely claims to be a company representative. This scammer warns that they'll disconnect the customer service if the customer fails to make a payment, usually within a short time frame, via a reloadable debit card or other non-traceable form of payment, or by clicking in an email. Complicating matters, these scammers often employ authentic-seeming phone numbers, official-looking emails, web addresses, uniforms, and other materials. Remember, utilities will never ask or require you to purchase a prepaid debit card to avoid disconnection. Customers with delinquent accounts receive an advanced disconnection notification, usually with their monthly bill, never a single notification shortly before disconnection. If you're ever uncomfortable providing personal information by phone, hang up and call the number located on your monthly bill to speak to a representative. Never share your personal information, including birthday, social security number, or banking account information. For more information on how to spot scams, visit utilitiesunited.org.
That little video produced by the PUD is in conjunction with today's observation of National Scam Awareness Day. And I know, Dan, you and I both have been hit by the scam bug. But, you know, it's just a matter of a lot of times common sense, I think. You know, don't open up any email that you don't recognize.
Exactly.
You know, and you get a call from somebody threatening you with, discontinuation of service or whatever. Don't believe it.
Yeah, don't believe it at all. Yeah. Steve is right. I had my identity stolen a couple of holidays ago. It was like 4 or 5 days before Christmas, and my bank, God love my bank, they realized something was cattywampus and they froze my account. It was kind of funny. I went to a fast food place and gave them my card, and they said, "Card's rejected." And I went, "No, I got plenty of dough."
No.
And sure enough, but they did a great job. My bank did what they were supposed to do, and they were able to find the money and get it back to me. It was a very uncomfortable couple of days, though.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
anyway, that's your news. And by the way, folks, here's that little banner that we always play at the end of our newscast. If you see something out there that's happening, like breaking news, okay, or if you have an idea for a news story that you'd like us to cover, just give us a call at 888-NCWL, that's 888-6295. You can contact us on Facebook by private message, or you can email us at news@ncwlife.com. And of course, for more news, 5 o'clock this afternoon, Dan.
Grant Olson will be handling the news in the anchor chair, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and again at 10 o'clock Monday through Friday, right here on the NCW Life channel.
Don't forget that website, ncwlife.com. For more details on the stories you heard today, we've got all of that for you set up nice and easy for you to read. Very convenient.
And also, we've added a new feature to our website. This has been up and running for a couple of weeks, but we haven't really talked about it a great deal. You can watch our show live online by going to our website, ncwlife.com, and you'll see the icon Watch Live, or you can watch on demand, which is a new thing that we put in. So if you have your favorite shows, like this one, or Street Talk and Other Stuff, or the 12th District with Kerry Kandata, or The Arbiter of Stoke with Tom Potter. Any of our favorite shows that we create here at the NCW Life channel, you can watch them on demand whenever you want to at your own convenience by going to our website at ncwlife.com. All right. 20 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday edition, don't forget Darcy Christopherson and Queen Amy Sand talking Apple Blossom and a few other odds and ends coming up in the second half of the program. But in 1 minute, we got sports and everything else on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee. We'll be right back.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
"21 minutes after the hour on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Wednesday, 15th day of November, 2017. Dan Kuntz, your host. Let's do sports. The Columbia Basin Big Nine is out with their all-league football selections. A number of Eastmont Wildcats and Wenatchee Panthers made the list, and there is your list. For Eastmont, selected first team all-league, Devin Schneider at running back, Clayton Harris on the offensive line, Christian Tonga on the defensive line. Wenatchee's Oscar Benjumi was a first-teamer. At linebacker, Riley Coons, a unanimous selection at tight end. Second-team selections for Eastmont include Cameron Scarmazzino. He's a football player. I saw him a lot this year. Great running back. Carson Payne and David Valdivinos on the offensive line. Devin Schneider again. At defensive back, Brett Womack. At linebacker, Jacob Slife was the second-team selection. At kicker for the Panthers, honorable mention for Eastmont, Manny Lopez at running back, Brendan Cornell and Dalton Harper on the offensive line, Wesley McElwain and Jordan Jessup at defensive back. For Wenatchee, the honorable mentions include Austin Blakeney at quarterback, Darius Carlson at tight end, and Colton Dial on the defensive line. The Caribou Trail League, their all-league team, football team, was announced. And there is your list. I hope you can read it all. I'll just run it through for Cascade. First teamers, Jose Mendoza, Eric Rosario, Jose Valdez, and Quinn Ashcroft. And for the second team for the Kodiaks, Teague Duncan and Jose Valdez. Cashmere, their first teamers include Jacob Ball, Cross Knoll, Brooks Elliott, Shane McCormick, and Noah Phillips. On the second team, Tyler Kurt, Noah Phillips again. There are a lot of two-way players, of course. Terry Kirk, Shane McCormick, and Daniel Wright. For Chelan, Skylar Gordon, first team offensive lineman and defensive lineman for the Goats. And for the second team, Hunter Lenbecker, Eric Alcala, Brent Mendeville, Arthur Drake, A.V. Stitt, and Kyle Jackson. The offensive MVP, Julian Cates, the running back of Okanagan, which of course is in the state quarterfinals. The defensive MVP, Jordan Jesse, also of Okanagan. The coach of the year, Coach Z, Phil Zukowski, and the sportsmanship award goes to the Chelan football Goats. All right. Our week on the NCW Life channel in sports began last night actually, continues tomorrow. Hockey night back on Thursday. The Wild taking on West Kelowna from last Friday at the Town Toyota Center. Hockey night starts at 7, Call of the Wild in Clarkey's Corner. On Friday, it's a replay of the incredible Wenatchee football game against Moses Lake from October 20th. Saturday features volleyball between Wenatchee and Moses Lake at 2, and then the Bridge of Sportsmanship game. We're going to show it again at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Then on Sunday, it's a wild Sunday on the NCW Life channel. 4 Wenatchee Wild games back to back, starting at noon. We're also finalizing details on our winter sports broadcast schedule. We'll get back into live sports broadcasting Friday, December 8th. That's when Wenatchee visits Eastmont in a basketball doubleheader. We'll start with the girls at 5:30, the boys at 7. Then on Tuesday, December 12th, we'll have our first ever live wrestling match right here on the NCW Live channel as Wenatchee will host Davis. On Friday, December 15th, back to basketball as Wenatchee will host West Valley. Again, a girls-boys doubleheader beginning at 5:30. Check out our website for more information on sports broadcasts at ncwlife.com. And finally, in sports, the latest college football playoff rankings are out. Washington State ranked higher than Washington. Alabama, Clemson, Miami, and Oklahoma are 1 through 4. Then you have Wisconsin, Auburn, Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Penn State rounding out the top 10. Washington State moves up to number 14. Washington, after its loss to Stanford, made the biggest fall in this week's poll. They moved down 9 spots to number 18. The Apple Cup is next week, Thanksgiving week, this year at Husky Stadium in Seattle. 25 minutes after the hour, it's time for the obscure holiday of the day today. November 15th is Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day. It's about what mine looks like at home. What is that in the back of your refrigerator? At one time it was something. I mean, everything in your refrigerator at one time or another was probably fresh and healthy and edible, but then, you know, it just slowly works its way to the back of the refrigerator, and then it transforms itself into something you don't know what it is anymore. So we've all done this before. Here's just a quick tip. When in doubt, throw it out. It's as simple as that. Clean out the refrigerator. Clean out your workplace refrigerator. Ironically enough, we have 2 refrigerators here at the NCW Life channel that all the office staff shares. They're in pretty good shape. It wasn't always the case. I remember a couple of years ago, I reached into the refrigerator to grab something that I'd brought in and something bit me. Clean out your refrigerator day today, always on November 15th. Probably needs to be more often than that, 26 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. Today in history, a couple of little items for you. 211 years ago, Lieutenant Zebulon Pike saw that. He saw this distant mountain peak way out there. He goes, hey, that's kind of cool. In the Colorado foothills and the Rocky Mountains, it is Pike's Peak. Pike's Peak or bust became the slogan. It was named after him. He didn't invent it, but he kind of sort of discovered it. Pike's Peak, which is an incredible mountain. It just dominates the skyline where it sits, particularly in correlation to the other Rocky Mountains in Colorado. Pike's Peak was found by Pike on this date, 211 years ago. And 48 years ago, November 15th, 1969, is believed to be the largest anti-war protest in this country's history. 500,000 people marched on the Capitol in Washington, D.C. to protest the Vietnam War. The New York Times described the crowd, and I'm quoting now, as predominantly youthful and a mass gathering of the moderate and radical left, old-style liberals, communists, pacifists, and a sprinkling of the violent new left. 500,000 people gathered to protest the Vietnam War in our nation's capital on this date in 1969. And finally, with our birthdays on this November 15th, it's all Hollywood related, including the legendary Ed Asner, who is 88 years old today. There's Ed. Ed Asner has won more Emmy Awards for performing than any male actor in history. He has won 7 Emmy Awards, 5 of them, of course, for the role of Lou Grant, both in the Mary Tyler Moore Show and in his own show entitled simply Lou Grant. Ed Asner, of course, was in town not long ago. He did a little one-man show at the Performing Arts Center. He's a great guy. Ed Asner is 88 years old today. He'll always be known as D.A. Jack McCoy on Law and Order. Sam Waterston is 77 years old today. He played Jack McCoy for 16 years on the 20-year series Law and Order. Sam Waterston is 77 years old today. For me, I remember when he was in The Killing Fields. He was just phenomenally good in that movie, in Capricorn 1. Sam Waterston, happy 77th to Sam. Warden Samuel Norton, the head of Shawshank State Prison. There he is. Bob Gunton is 72 years old today. Very accomplished actor, very accomplished singer, but when he landed that role back in 1994 as Warden Norton in the Shawshank Redemption, he said, that's it now. I mean, he says, when I pass away 30, 40 years from now, the headline's going to be the guy who played the warden in the Shawshank Redemption. And he's right, but he was great in that role. He was a great antagonist. Bob Gunton is 72 years old today. And Beverly D'Angelo, always be known as Chevy Chase's wife in the Vacation films. She's appeared in over 60 films, nominated for a Golden Globe Award. Remember, she was the one who played Patsy Cline in the great 1980 movie, Coal Miner's Daughter. She also won an Emmy Award for her role as Stella in the TV film A Streetcar Named Desire back in 1984. Has a couple of kids with legendary actor Al Pacino. Beverly D'Angelo, accomplished actress and singer, is 66 years old today. Happy birthday to all of our people out there celebrating birthday. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday from all of us here at the NCW Life channel. Don't forget, you can submit birthdays to us. Any number of ways to do it. You can do it via our website. You can just Facebook message us, whatever it takes. Get your local birthdays to us, and we'll get your birthday on the air here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 30 minutes after the hour, in just a couple minutes, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion, and then Apple Blossom Festival Administrator Darcy Christopherson and Her Royal Highness, the reigning queen, Amy Sand, will be in studio when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
On approved credit. It's time for a sale so big, Leonard Evans only has it once a year. Some call it the red hot clear the lot sale. At Leonard Evans, we just call it huge. Come pick out any car, truck, or SUV from our inventory with over 150 super clean pre-owned vehicles. Who else makes offers this good? Nobody. That's who. Leonard Evans Used Cars Superstore. Corner of Maple Street at North Wenatchee Avenue in Wenatchee, and always at LeonardEvansCars.com. Leonard Evans, where the name means a great deal.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing Honey Blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
The 2017 Ski-Doo Summit sleds. Next generation REV platform. The most powerful two-stroke engine in the industry. For the unmatched handling and power to own the next side hill, the next drop, the next ride. Ski-Doo. What matters is what's next.
Hi, I'm Blair from Works, your workout prescription. Have you ever started an exercise program and struggled to keep it going? So what if I told you that with this MyZone device, I could increase your chances of self-motivated exercise adherence by over 200%. Combine that with an exercise prescription specifically for your level of readiness, we'll increase it even more. And that's our new member success system. It's $99. It's exclusively at Works. It includes your MyZone belt. Works, yourworkoutrx.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, recently on Facebook, a friend commented that racists, white supremacists, and neo-Nazis were subhuman, and intimated that violence against these folks was justified. Interesting, I thought. And I asked my friend if he remembered who the term subhuman had also been attributed to previously. No response. Well, you know the answer. This was one of the terms that Hitler used and his fellow Nazis to describe the Jews. Now, I have to wonder, how can we decry hatred and bigotry in others but harbor the same hatred and bigotry ourselves? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guests for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Hi, this is Carl.
And Kathy from East Wenatchee Grocery Outlet. We are excited to be a part of this wonderful community and look forward to meeting you at East Wenatchee Grocery Outlet.
Our store is filled with name brand products at bargain prices at 40 to 60% savings. We have a large selection of natural, organic, and specialty foods.
Stop by and meet Carl, the wine guy, on Wednesday.
East Wenatchee Grocery Outlet, where you can win what you saved. Stop by soon.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs. 36 minutes after the hour, we are live from Studio 99 here in downtown Wenatchee, and I just changed it to Studio 99 because the 99th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is coming up here in just a couple of months. The official thing kind of kicked off with the Apple Blossom auction. That was back in October, and then we move into the royalty selection, and then finally to the festival itself. In studio, to my far left is the festival administrator, our regular guest, Darcy Christopherson, and Queen Amy Sand in the middle. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
We have a little surprise for you. We're going to start out our little program. We're going to take you back in time to February 11th of this year. Was that?
I think so. I think it was February 11th.
And this was the moment when Amy Sand got the gig. Take a look.
The 98th Queen to reign over the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, Her Royal Highness, Queen Amy Sand.
I'd like to do my best Amy Sand impersonation now. That was back in February. Just that very moment, obviously, you were like, I won? Yeah. We were talking off camera. You were seriously, sincerely stunned that you got the gig.
Yeah, well, we're told to come up with a speech just in case you get in. And in my head, I was like, all the girls are amazing. And that night, everyone did so well from what I heard. And so I thought, the chances of me getting in are 3 out of 10. That's not very high. And so I just didn't even process it. I was so focused on even getting through the night. And so when I got called, I had no clue what to say through the microphone because I was just so shocked.
But you did it.
I did it.
What was the rest of that night like for you from the time that Corey put the tiara on until you went to bed that night?
I was in awe. My face was frozen with a smile, but it didn't even hurt. Like, you know when you smile for so long and you're like, I can't do this anymore? I forgot that I couldn't even not smile because I was just so happy and excited. And then all the people, all the little girls I was meeting that night, people that I didn't even know coming up to me, it was a rush. It was the best feeling in the world.
Pageant is half the scoring, right? The actual pageant. The other half is what happens on the Saturday leading up to the pageant, and that's what people don't get to see.
Right.
The one-on-one interviews with the judges and that kind of stuff. Talk about that process. When you were done with that and you were in that 4-hour gap between the interviews and the actual pageant, you go, I think I'm doing pretty good. Talk about the stuff that people don't get to see on Saturday.
So when you go into interviews, you're with a panel of judges, and then you'll go into one-on-ones with them, and I actually felt pretty confident. That day I thought to myself, you do not need to overthink this, just be yourself. If they like you, they like you. If not, that's okay. But I really just went in there with my own personality, and I made jokes with them, and I just was myself, and I had fun with it. And I came home and I told my parents, I had a lot of fun. And my mom's like, say they're really good or really bad. And so, but it was actually a lot of fun getting to talk with them one-on-one. And the night before, we have a judges' dinner with them. And so you kind of break the ice a little. And then the next day, you go right into it. And it was just something fun for me. I didn't even really think about it. It was kind of easy.
Has it been, what, February to now, here we are in November, some of the festivals you've been to, some of the things that you've done, anything stand out in particular, places maybe you went out of town to meet new people and stuff, or has it all been one big blur?
It kind of both. The Lilac Festival was absolutely phenomenal. It was so beautiful. The night parade.
In Spokane, yeah,
oh
lovely.
yeah, it is the best. And of course we were at the end though, but it was good because our float has all those pretty lights so you could see it. But it was probably the most fun I had. That, or I really liked Manson, even though it's so close. That one was super fun because it's just a smaller town, and so you kind of get to connect more with the people on the ground.
Is life back to normal for you now? I mean, the festival season is over, right, Darcy? So there's no more of this to do, really?
Yes,
A couple of public
she's
appearances,
done doing
that's
that,
about.
yes.
So is it now, can you go back and just be Amy again?
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels nice, but I was having withdrawals from it because I do love connecting with people, and just going to school and then work, it wasn't as glamorous.
Does the tiara become just a second part of you? Do you even remember you even wearing it half the time?
No, I know. Sometimes if you don't position it right, it kind of hurts.
Yeah, you know.
You're going to Wenatchee Valley College.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're going to graduate. You got a $6,000 scholarship.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. What are you doing now, and what are your plans?
So right now I'm just trying to get my AA, and then I want to transfer hopefully to WSU. And then for a while it was UW. That's where my sister goes, but I've kind of changed. House divided. But so I want to get a business degree. I want to go into the criminal justice field, but if that ends up not working out, to fall back onto would be nice with a business degree. But hopefully I become a police officer and then someday a general case detective. And
wow.
I've been thinking about the Army, but we'll see.
Why law enforcement? Why does that intrigue you? Criminal justice and stuff like that.
It's been around my family my whole life. My grandpa was the police captain here in Wenatchee for a few years, and then my uncle over in Seattle is a lead detective. And my uncle has been a sheriff, and it's just kind of been everywhere. And so I just liked watching them protect people and kind of do cases. It's really interesting, and I really like psychology, how people think, why people do the things they do. And so it's just always been something that I've kind of wanted to pursue.
Officer Sand has a nice one.
I know, yes.
I can deal with that. And of course, all of this is because of the Wenatchee Appalachians. You got a $6,000 head start, and that's incredible,
Yes.
isn't it, Darcy?
Yes.
The scholarship.
It is. We give about $24,000 in scholarships, and $6,000 of the Queens is sponsored by the Wenatchee Appalachians. So that's one of the reasons why our turnout is always so great, and why girls want to run for royalty. We were just talking about it backstage that she gets her whole 2 years paid for, plus. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty good reason to run right there.
And you'll always be an apple blossom queen forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's
forever.
a permanent deal. Once a queen, always a queen.
Yes. There's many of us out there.
Right. And the last year, right up until when you get to hand the tiara off to some other lucky gal come February of next year, is going to be a year you will never ever forget. Darcy will tell you that.
Right.
It's a year that is encapsulated in your mind. You will never forget it.
You don't.
Pitch that there's high school senior girls out there, Eastmont, Wenatchee school districts. Why should they run? Pitch the product, Amy, if you don't mind.
For me, in all honesty, I was really scared to run. I was scared to get up on a stage in front of my peers and give a speech because I had never had the experience. I had never actually gotten up in front of a huge crowd and talked. Getting in front of my classroom was scary enough. But once you go to the meeting and once you listen to the things that you get to do, the opportunities, the people you get to meet, the relationships you build, and of course the money you can make, it's actually mind over matter. And wanting that experience, wanting to meet those people was something I wanted to do more than even thinking about doing a speech. And so I told myself, who cares, you're doing it. And my mom really helped me. My sister really helped me because she was in top 10 previous year. And so I really did have a good support system and good friends telling me, like, it's no big deal. It's just getting in front of your peers. You can do it. And so once I did get into it, it's like a dream come true. You meet the other 9 girls, because you're top 10, and you become friends with all of them. To this day, you're still friends with them. The chaperones, even if you don't make it into royalty, you're still close with them. Darcy, of course, you're going to be close with her. And so it's really a good experience to connect with the valley, the community, and give back for what you're giving or getting.
She's good.
I know.
Good.
I know.
Nicely done, judges, last year. The key about this November 28th series of mandatory meetings, you don't have to make up your mind right then and there. It's just if you're even borderline considering, if you're 5% considering taking a run at it, you learn a lot. You learn about what you need to know about on November 28th, right, Darcy?
Yeah, that's what I always tell parents and girls that are interested in running, that if you're the least bit thinking about it, you just have to come to that meeting, because if you don't come, you can't run. And I can't tell you how many girls say to me, dang it, I really should have ran, and I didn't go to the meeting. So you go to the meeting November 28th, and we have 3 meetings, 12 noon, 4 p.m., and 6 p.m., and you only have to attend one of those meetings, and a parent or guardian needs to attend a meeting also. You do not have to go to the same meeting. So your parents could go during their lunch break at noon, and you can show up at 4 o'clock as the senior girl. But it's just important to learn about time management and what it takes to be an Apple Blossom royalty, because it is pretty much all about Apple Blossom if you make it into the top 10 or royalty. So that's what we kind of go over is the time commitment and everything that has to do with pageant and the top 10 process.
That's all on November 28th at?
It's at the Wenatchee Center.
Okay.
And you can go online to appleblossom.org and take a look at our royalty manual, which you already did.
It's 51 pages, but it's a fascinating 51-page read.
That's what happens when you have attorneys in your life. And I have 2 of them. So our Director General this year is an attorney. So yeah, but it's important. You know, when I ran, there was nothing. You just signed up and you showed up and gave a speech, and I don't even know if we practiced our speech. You know, now you have the mandatory meetings and you learn about it. You have how many rehearsals? 3 to 4 rehearsals just for top 10. So it's changed a lot, and that's why, you know, we just want to make that journey as easy for the candidates and their parents as we can. So that's why we probably go overboard in the information area.
No, but it's fine. People go, 51 pages, how hard can it be? But it's a fascinating read.
And what's the last page?
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's the song Apple Blossom Time.
Oh, yes, it's the sheet music to
hello.
Apple Blossom.
You need to know the words to Apple Blossom Time.
The mandatory meetings are on November 28th. At what point do the senior girls from the Wenatchee and Eastmont School Districts or homeschool, whatever the case would be, when do they actually have to say, okay, I'm in or I'm not in?
You have 2 days.
You have 2 days.
So you have the meetings on Tuesday. You have until Thursday at 3 o'clock to have your applications turned in. And this year, for the first time ever, well, hopefully it'll work, you do it all online. Okay. So you used to have to hand us 4 pieces of paper. Now it's all done online. So we still have to have it done by Thursday at 3 p.m., but we're excited about doing it online. So
good move. Because this internet thing, I'm telling you, I'm on record.
I think it's a thing.
On.
I think people are going to use it.
I think so. I bought a whole bunch of stock in AOL. So
I'm
hoping it's just going to take right off.
And dial up? Wow.
Yeah, dial up. I have a little one sheet here. The one thing, and I wanted to ask you about this, and this is something else that's changed since when you were queen just a couple of years ago. The 2.75 GPA, which is, I think, a really, really good move. I think it was a smart move on whoever made that decision to have this is a minimum scholastic where you have to be. At what point does that 2.75 GPA or higher have to be locked in? Was that going into the school year?
It was going into the school year. So that's a good question, because a lot of girls and parents think it's progress report time right now. So if they're getting a 3 point now, but they went into their senior year with a 2.5, it doesn't work. It's that going into your senior year. So it's really June of your junior year.
Last time I saw you was leading up to the auction. How did it go? How did we do?
It was great. It was amazing. We had the Western theme, which was awesome. Ron Bershauer was our MC, and he was Ronnie Cash. And we doubled our net from last year, which is amazing. We actually had less people in attendance, but they were ready to spend money, and they did. I'm just always amazed. I woke up that next morning and went, did that just happen? I mean, it was just a night of It was awesome.
It's a great night.
Yeah.
Was making a lot more items a silent auction item and less on the live auction probably helped? Because I thought that was a good
Yes,
move.
that was huge. And we got rid of a lot of live items that we've done year after year. So I think that helped a lot. And we got a lot of things donated instead of us getting money and buying it. So that was huge. Huge.
What's the number one life skill you are going to take out of this experience, the year of your queen? I mean, what are you going to say? This is what I got out of being in royalty from
Communication.
communication. That's the big thing.
That's the big thing. I got the nerves to be able to speak in front of people, just being able to talk to you right now with TV.
Well, you got to remember, you got to do Magnati's show, which, by the way, we apologize for that. So that's the number one thing.
Yeah, it is, because you get trained. Like you said, you go through that whole month. You get taught how to do your hair, your makeup, how to walk, how to present yourself, social media, but really you practice your speech. You go through how to present it, how to really talk one-on-one with someone. And so I think that's the biggest thing that, even from top 10, that I've brought into this role, because you really need to use it every day.
That's the one thing you and I have noticed over the years, the 1 month period between this is the top 10 to royalty selection pageant night, that 1 month thing changes your life in so many. The girls change, they blossom, they almost become completely different people in a good way.
Yeah.
It's amazing the growth process that happens in just a month.
It's my favorite part. That whole month is I get emotional even thinking about it. It's amazing watching them grow into amazing women.
But you brought in the right people. You brought in Andy and you brought in Danny Solomon and some of the people who understand those things to walk them through.
And that's really the key. I mean, we have, what do you think, probably 10 people at least that are a part of our training process. Dan Solom works with them on media, Megan Vibert on business etiquette, Ann Deal and Corrine Tilley on eating etiquette, and on and on. We have tons of people that take their time and volunteer their time to train these girls. And for them to have these amazing community members that teach them is just a process that I don't think any other festival really has. So
I think I could use a brush up on etiquette. Are you good at holding a fork?
We are.
Yeah, table etiquette was a big thing growing up in my family.
Yes.
Yes, you had to mind your manners at the table. Queen Amy Sand and Darcy Christopherson are my guests today. We're going to take a quick little break. We're going to change gears just a little bit because Darcy is going to spend Friday night in a box. We'll talk about that. It's all for a good cause in a few more minutes with Queen Amy as well. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up on Wenatchee Valley. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is State Representative Kerry Condata inviting you to check out our newest show on the NCW Life channel. We call it the 12th District. Each week we'll be taking an in-depth look at various political issues that affect our area, our state, and the world. We'll be featuring local and statewide experts on the subject matter at hand. Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Ladies of the Wenatchee Valley, do you know the secret of receiving the perfect gift for your birthday, anniversary, or Christmas? We have the answer for you at Collins Fashions. Come in and fill out a wish list. You can choose from beautifully crafted jewelry, handbags, and luggage from Brighton, stylish wallets and handbags from Lotus, cozy sweaters from Icelandic, zip fleece from Tommy Bahama, fashions from Joseph Ribkop, and Collins gift cards. Our little elves can contact your loved ones and share your wish list. Complimentary gift wrap and amazing service at Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee.
We're back on a royal edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz, who has never won anything of any importance whatsoever in my 53 years on the planet, but we have Darcy Christopherson, 1985 Queen, and Her Royal Highness herself, Queen Amy Sand. You're going to miss people saying, do people call you Your Royal Highness? Am I the first, or do they do that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Darcy is notorious for being somebody who's very hard to say no to. When Darcy calls you, can you help me? You go, yes, Darcy. The tables have been flipped. You got the call from Bart saying, can you help me? Talk about Friday night.
Yeah, Bart Tilley called me probably the end of August, the first part of September when it was still, 90 degrees out. And asked me if I'd sleep in a box on November 17th. And I looked at my calendar and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I can. Well, now it's Friday. So I'll be sleeping in a box from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Encouraging Words parking lot. And I've been raising money for the Lighthouse Christian Ministries. The dollars go towards their clinic that they're building and rebuilding the lighthouse and the kitchen. So my goal was to raise $5,000. And I have reached that goal. So now my new goal is $7,000 and I'm almost there. So I really encourage people to go to my Facebook page, and you can donate on my Facebook page or just swing by and drop off a check. But I'm excited.
I would say swing by and drop off the check because you can see it. Have you done this before?
I've never done it before. I've always known about it, but I've never done this, no.
The idea is to raise awareness for homelessness, which is why people sleep in a box. And they make it into a pretty nice little evening. They really do. They have a stage, they have entertainment, they have testimonials. There's a lot of camaraderie. There's fires. They have, they're burning wood and stuff like that to keep warm. And it's kind of a fun little night. It really is.
What I hear.
So when you wake up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, you have a deep appreciation for some of the struggles that the less fortunate in the valley have to go through.
Yes.
So good for you, Darcy.
Thank you. I'm just totally amazed at how many people have. I've had over probably 90 people donate for this. Good. So I'm very humbled by that, just by, putting out a little something on Facebook and sending a little something in the mail. I'm pretty happy with that. So I thank you to everyone that's donated so far. So
good for you, and it's atypical. It's what we do here at the Wenatchee Valley. We pave it forward. We take care of each other.
So true. So true.
I mean, you're in service clubs. It's a good. This is a good place to live. I'm not moving.
I'm not moving.
Yeah. If and when you go into law enforcement, Amy, do you still want to call North Central Washington your home?
Yes.
Or wherever the job may take you? Or is this going to be home?
I think it kind of depends on what career I go, but hopefully I can stay home.
One last time, because we've got about 2 minutes left, walk us through what we began with, the royalty selection process. What do the girls need to know? They are certainly know by now. They probably got their letter from either Brian or Dr. Christensen that this is what you do.
Yep.
So just walk them through them one more time, just so they know.
They should have gotten a letter in the mail probably in October, but you need to, the big thing is you just need to come to the meeting. So you come to the meeting on November 28th, a noon meeting, 4 p.m., 6 p.m. at the Wenatchee Convention Center. We will go over everything at that time. You have 2 days to turn in your applications from there. I just really encourage you to go to appleblossom.org, and that is where everything is. The royalty manual, the forms that you'll be filling out, so you can read up on anything and everything that has to do with Apple Blossom royalty.
Amy, when you were, say, a freshman or even a sophomore at Wenatchee High School, was that in your brain that maybe when I'm a senior I might go out for royalty? Or when you were like 7 or 8, you go, I think when I'm 10 years from now I might want to do this?
Of course, when I was 7 or 8, when they came to our elementary schools, I was like, that has to be me.
Yeah.
And because they're perfect in your mind. They're just, oh my gosh, look at them with their crowns.
Did you have a queen that you remember as your first queen?
Was it?
That's a good question.
I remember you said somebody.
Who was it? Because my queen photo, we took it just like hers.
Yes, I'm trying to remember who it was.
Apparently the answer is no.
Yeah, she did. I had Jan Randall.
Right.
Jan Randall was my first queen. It
Uh-huh.
was, Jenny Hampton?
Yeah.
Jenny Hampton. Great
Yeah.
gal to emulate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think all of us have that first queen,
Yeah.
you know, that is like, oh.
You walk into a classroom and everybody's staring at you.
Yeah.
She was perfect.
Be good, ladies. All right.
Thank you.
Tomorrow on this program, Steve Robinson and Gil Sparks from Pybus Public Market will be in studio. Take care. Have a good Wednesday. Bye-bye.